Hello, my name is Prince Hanley, and I want to talk about the virtues that I worked on and why I chose this specific virtue. Before we get to the actual topic, we want to know what a virtue is. A virtue is the ability to continue doing something right. You may be asking, how do you gain a virtue? In order to gain a virtue, you have to continuously practice doing the right thing without doing it excessively or too little. How do you make things a virtuous action? One becomes virtuous by living a life where they do the right things with the right reason to do them. For example, walking an older lady down the street when she needs help. You don't want to leave an old lady on the side of the street knowing that she may not be able to get on the other side. The virtue that this displays is friendliness. So, the virtue that I chose was temperate. I chose temperate because I wanted to be able to show restraint and moderation. So I don't have a lot of restraint and moderation when it comes to a lot of things. So I felt as though this is most likely the most important virtue that may impact my life. So I chose this one for a good reason. So a vice is the ability to be immoral or extra. In this case, the vices for temperate are addictive and ascetic. Temperate being the mean, ascetic being the extra, and addictive being the immoral. Ascetic is being able to have extreme self-control, whilst addictive is being able to have no self-control. An example of someone that may be ascetic can be like a monk. Monks go through rigorous training every single day. They try their best. They are bald. They are one with their spiritual being. And they do all of this with the strict diet, with the strict schedule. Those people can be seen as ascetic. Like Avatar Aang. An example of addictive are, for example, people who can't control their food intake like me, and drug addicts. So let's get on to the videos. The first video I submitted was an interview with my friend Jordan. Jordan basically went through and explained how I've struggled with being able to maintain my diet and how I wanted to practice self-control. I've always struggled a lot with self-control, and for someone else to be able to tell me that I needed to work on my self-control, this really made me open my eyes. So I've tried for so long to be able to commit to this dieting, do exactly what I felt like I needed to do. And I just was not able to be strict. I was not able to do the cardio. I was not able to restrict sugar out of my diet. But once I saw that being temperate was a virtue and that we had this assignment for this class, I thought it would be the best idea to just incorporate this with something that I really needed in my everyday life. So yeah, that was my first video. That was my first artifact. The second video I submitted was a video of me at a party. I was offered a piece of cake that looked very good, I'm not gonna lie. It was red velvet with vanilla icing on top with some type of cream inside. And I really wanted to eat it. In fact, I told them to give me a piece of cake. But then I realized this cake would be going against the virtue temperance. This would go towards my addictive side. This would go toward the addictive vice. So yeah, I couldn't celebrate my friend's birthday with a nice piece of cake, but I did it because I just wanted to become a better person. And I felt like this would really just make me more virtuous as a whole. The third video I submitted was of me coming back from the gym. After I go to the gym, I typically tend to just go to the vending machine and, balance out my day and balance out what I worked out by giving myself a nice, good, honey bun or a Rice Krispie treat. In this case, I realized I couldn't take a Rice Krispie treat. I couldn't take a honey bun. The reason why I couldn't take a honey bun or take a Rice Krispie treat was because of the fact that this would also go against my virtue. This would go towards the vice addictive. So a lot of my stuff has, a lot of my addictive vice stuff has to do with what I eat and how I handle the situations when it comes to what I eat. So I really need to get that straight. So in my last submission, I submitted an artifact. This artifact was me on the treadmill. I chose to use this picture of me on the treadmill that I took exactly the same day that I got the vending machine stuff. If you watch the video, I chose to use this picture of me on the treadmill because normally I skip cardio. I'm telling you, I do this all the time. I skip cardio to eat snacks. And my roommate Alex always screams at me like, you're working against yourself. You're not helping yourself. You're putting yourself down. You need to be more temperate. You need self-control. So I decided to just fully finish my 30 minutes of cardio. I put on an anime, I just put on a show, and I just kept going. I just kept rolling, And I feel as though that really displayed me holding myself to a different point, holding myself to a good, virtuous point. So, yeah. All of these videos and artifacts show proof of me trying to be more of a temperate human being by realizing the problem itself to restricting myself from the pleasure that I endeavor in every day. To substituting my addictive actions with more temperate actions, I think Aristotle is correct when it comes to gaining virtues. The reason I think he's correct is due to the fact that I am not able to control myself at all when it comes to sweets. This project has opened my eyes. This project has showed me that I can control and moderate how I spend my time and eat my food. Aristotle claims that we come to have virtues by what we are taught are morally correct, and if we decide to actually practice the morally correct things, they become virtues, if that makes sense. I think I always knew this stuff was morally correct. I just never chose to actually practice being able to eat healthy and, lose some weight. I definitely feel as though I'm in a better place than before because I would eat recklessly and overwork myself at the gym. Now I eat in moderation and I've actually cut a lot of weight. Let me show you, for example. This is a little add-on. I've actually cut a lot of weight because of the virtue temperance. As you can see, I'm actually way more cut than before. So that's it. Thank you for listening to my take on Aristotle's virtues. Have a good night.